Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I want to show you a mix that I mixed a long time ago, but I want to kind of give emphasis on a point that I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that your mixes or your organization, the way you go about actually mixing your tracks and everything, you should have some sort of organization to it, okay? Look at this mixer, look at the playlist itself. This is a long time ago. This is 2020. This is November 2020, right? I just kind of want to show you how I actually went about mixing this and just show you ways that you can actually improve the quality of your mixes by just having that organizational structure there in the first place, okay? Right off the bat, okay, if we just look at the playlist to begin with, okay, we have the beat at the top. I always have the beat at the top or the instrumentation at the top and then have the vocals at the bottom because I know that the beat or the instrumentation or the music itself is actually constant, if that makes sense. So let's play a bit of this track yeah, let's just play a bit of it for now.
Hey Siri, tell me the bed bizarre. Tell him she love my fragrance. Babies, do you also fudge? And if it don't work, then it's back to the making bars. Cause one way or another, line call's gonna be a baller.
Okay, so you guys have probably heard this track before. If you have, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If not, anyway, let's continue. Okay, so that's the playlist there. And then usually when it comes to, like, let's say I'm recording, I record straight into the playlist. Well, in this instance, I've recorded straight into the playlist itself. So if we look at the playlist itself, let's see how everything's organized. So if you look at it, you can see, okay, there's bits here, and then after there's, it kind of goes down, then there's it, then there's it. So this section here, you can tell that, okay, this, let's say, a specific part, this is the hook, okay? And after the verse comes in here, and then the hook, then the verse, then the hook. You kind of tell just by looking at that, okay, these bits here, 1, 2, 3 are probably the same because they're on the same level, if that makes sense. Of course, if I was to redo this again, of course, I won't have that, because this, but lead, you can tell that, okay, first of all, lead vocal, then the secondary vocal, or the vox dubs here, you can see lead vocal, vox dubs, and the ad-libs are these single individual parts there. You can tell lead vocal, vocal dubs, and ad-libs here. Same thing, lead vocal, vocal dubs, and ad-libs. I like to layer it like that. The lead vocal first, then the vocal dub secondary, then the ad-libs third. So you can kind of tell with the beat as well. Beat, lead vocal, vocal dubs, or background vocals, and the other background vocals, etc. Okay, you kind of see that there. And it's kind of organized like this. And then if you go into the vocal, like zoom into the vocal itself, you can tell that, hey, it, like, there's these curvature fade type of things, okay? And the reason why I do this is because it makes the vocal quality of recording, or the vocal, when it comes to mixing, it makes everything clean and you're not hearing unnecessary background noises and whatnot. So to even get this thing, you have to double click and then press declicker mode. I like to use the smooth bleeding one, so it kind of smooths out, has like a fade to it itself. And then once you kind of do that, you do it to the whole thing. It kind of applies to the whole vocal record and take itself. And then you just kind of take out any pauses, okay? This is another form of organization as well, because it cleans up the recording. And it's just, sometimes it's the little things in itself that make up to how the whole track or the whole mix will sound like at the end, okay? So you can see that, okay, that's there. Of course, nowadays, if you look at the vocal, UK Drill Vocal Preset Pack 3rd edition, you can kind of tell that the way I organize my tracks itself is slightly different in terms of I now use these tracks here, like where it says track mode, audio track, and I actually assign it like that, and then everything else is kind of different. But even back then when I was doing it, there was some sort of organization to it as well. Okay, so that's the playlist there. You kind of see everything's clean. There's a lot going on, but there is a lot. But you can kind of follow, if you're to look at it, okay, you can tell that, okay, cool, I see what's going on here, okay? And I'm using one of my old mixes to kind of give you an example of, even if you were doing it this way, because I know some people prefer just to record straight in if it's a simple type of project or whatnot, but it really depends. Let's look at the mixer now. Have the beat, the vocal bus, the lead vocals, the vocal dubs, ad-libs, all routed into the vocal bus here. Of course, this type of track had a lot of sound effects, because track is called Hey Siri, okay? And yeah, so sound effects 1, sound effect 2, like when it comes in.
Tell him she love my fragrance. Babies, do you also fudge? And if tell me the bed.
Those type of effects there, okay? And of course, here some other. These are just based. This is just effects, and had the reverb bus here for the reverb itself. Okay, these the type of effects I used for this type of track was mainly just stock plugins. Wasn't, I think at that time I wasn't using waves. I used some FabFilter Pro Q and FabFilter DSR and Ozone 9 elements, and just basically a FabFilter. You kind of tell that, yeah, this mix, it's not, I think if I was to do a remix on this, if I was to do a proper remix, I would use completely different plugins. But it also goes to show that, yeah, you can go about actually mixing with just a few plugins, a few paid plugins, or just a combination of the two, like a hybrid type of mix in a sense, if that makes sense. Cool. So, yeah, so if you look at the mixer now, you know that I always like to have the lead vocal, vocal dubs, and ad-libs. Those are the 3 essential elements I like to record with any artist. Also depends on the context of the track as well. So sometimes you may not actually need the vocal dubs and ad-libs, but I always like to record them at least. All routed into the vocal bus, okay? It's always simplest. Like sometimes people just call lead vocals the main vocals or the main. You need some sort of specificness. If that's a word, I don't know. Anyway, regardless, you need something specific so that you can actually route it into something overall. If you specify it as lead vocal, you can identify it. Vocal dubs, you can identify it. Ad-libs, you can identify it. All into the vocal bus. Okay, the beat has its own channel, right? Then you kind of create different tracks for the sound effects. Okay, if you have a sound effect in the playlist and it's just routed into the master straight, you kind of need to know what's been played. So have channels for every single thing on the playlist itself. That makes sense. Okay, then the reverb bus here, apply the reverb there, and then that's routed. Of course, the lead vocal, vocal dubs, ad-libs, vocal dubs and lead vocal routed into the reverb bus itself. The send there. Okay, so this video is just kind of show you and kind of also motivate you or encourage you to actually go about to actually maintain organization when you're mixing and mastering, because it increases your speed, it makes everything faster for you and whatnot. But also check out the UK Drill Vocal preset pack, because even in that video you can kind of see that, yeah, I think there's much more organization now. But this one, of course, is an older one. But main takeaway from this, if you're watching this, is that always organize your tracks, make things clean enough to where it's like, if I sent you this project, this FLP, would you be able to decode it and analyze it and understand what's going on information wise, like where everything is and whatnot? Especially the mixer. I think the mixer is one of those things where it's like it's important that it's universal in the fact that people can, like, if another engineer was to actually go about mixing it or to view your mix thing, would you understand? Like, if I was to ask you this question now, do you understand what's going on here? Okay, and that's why I like to keep things simple at the same time as well. Like, that's just having this lead vocal, vocal dubs, ad-libs. So if everybody uses it, okay, we all understand what's going on. Not just vocal 1, vocal 2, vocal 3. Like, what's vocal 1, vocal 2, vocal 3? You get what I'm trying to say? Also, you can also go deep into it by actually renaming these type of things here as well, like these tracks here. I think that's always a good thing to do as well. But more often than not, we spend a lot of time here. That's why if you check out the UK Drill Vocal preset pack now, and you see how it actually arranges the playlist itself, you can kind of tell that, okay, anything that's for example, it will be like something like this, lead vocal, and after you can tell, okay, anything on this line is a lead vocal, and that way it can kind of make sense like that. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I just want to encourage you to always maintain organization when it comes to mixing and mastering, or even recording, or anything you do. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.